In the early morning of April 20th, 1989, it was a normal morning for Trisha Melly, a 28-year-old investment banker in New York City. She went for a jog in Central Park around 9 a.m. and was later found brutally beaten, raped, and left for dead. She was in a coma for the next 12 days. This is the story of the Central Park Five, five African American minors who were charged with the brutal rape and beating of Trisha. One of the boys, Antron McCray, who was 15, another, Yusuf Salem, who was 15, Kevin Richardson, also 15, Raymond Sonata, 14, and Corey Wise, who was 16. The assault of Trisha was in Central Park around 9 a.m. 4 hours later, she was found gagged, naked, and tied up. She was knocked down and dragged nearly 300 feet and violently assaulted from where she was found. She suffered many medical injuries, suffering from hypothermia, severe brain damage, severe hemorrhagic shock, loss of 80% of her blood, and internal bleeding. She had her skull fractured so bad that it left her left eye out of socket. The medical prognosis said that she would die, but woke up not able to talk or read or walk. She was in rehabilitation for 6 months and returned to work 8 months later. After waking up, she was treated 7 weeks in the hospital. She did not walk until mid-July of 1989. The first to be arrested out of the Central Park Five were Raymond and Kevin, both 14. They were interrogated for 7 hours before they recorded their statements, both without parental advisory. Satana, McCray, and Richardson both made video statements with their parents. May 10th, 1989 was the day all these boys were indicted into the courts. Steve Lopez was 14, Antron McCray 15, Kevin Richardson 14, Yusuf Salem 15, Raymond Sonata 14, and Corey Wise 16 all pled not guilty. Lopez, Richardson, and Salem were able to make the $2,500 bail. Their sentencings later came after a year of trial. Yusuf Salem served 6 years and 8 months, 1990 to 1996. He was later released on parole. Raymond Sonata also did 6 years and 8 months from 1990 to 1996. Kevin Richardson did 7 years from 1990 to 1997. And Antron McCray also did 6 years, 1990 to 1996. It wasn't until years later that Matias Reyes confessed to these crimes to officials. He raped a woman 2 days before the Central Park Five were accused. In 2002 was when he confessed. During the summer of 1989, he was known to have raped 4 other women before Trisha. His DNA matched the DNA found at the scene of the Central Park Five.